Okay, in this video we're just going to have a quick talk about adjusting the clutch on the Moto Guzzi Mille, but it applies to any of the Tonti bikes, and I know a lot of people have some difficulty with this. There's three places where it gets adjusted. This is how I do it. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, or other people's ways of doing it is wrong. This is how I do it. It might work for you. Hopefully this video is some use to you. Okay, quick video on the clutch free play, how important this is on the Guzzi. Excuse the Mille with the forward controls with the brake lever right in the way. Just have to try and do the best I can, and I'm not sure how well it's actually going to focus, but you know, I see the clutch arm there, so if I just get a screwdriver in there, and you can just see that there's just a little bit of free play in there. You can see there's actually quite a lot of free play in there. I've got about 2 millimeters there. The clutch is working fine. It's not mega critical. The important thing is that you've just got to have that free play in there. How I do it, how I adjust it, is that first of all I use the adjuster on the back of the clutch arm itself. It's on the push rod to get that free play right, so that when that's back, that is about right. And then I just adjust this adjuster, and then the headlamp, and then the handlebar adjuster then at that point. So it's the arm one first, then this one, then that one. That's fine. Adjust. I tend to adjust it so that if I do need to, if the engine gets really hot and I'm starting to lose a bit of clutch, I can just wind that adjuster on at the top, bring the clutch back in, and then when the engine cools down I can just back it back off again. You know, if you're riding for a long time in heavy traffic. But the important thing is that there's a little bit of free play there in the arm. There's a bit too much free play there actually. I could take a bit of that out, but it's such a nuisance to do that adjuster that I can't really be bothered if the bike's running alright and the clutch is working fine. Okay, so you have to excuse the really messy desk. There you go. So it's just going to be easier to show you how to adjust the clutch adjuster actually on a piece of paper than trying to do it underneath the bike. It's a bit of a nightmare. So this is how I do it. Now, there's probably other ways to do it, but this is how I do it. So if I show you a cross-sectional view, so we have the back of the gearbox, and then we have the arm. Like this, the cables here, and in the back of here we've got the adjuster. There's a nut on here, 13mm, and then there's a grub screw which has got a flat on it. It's sort of a flat like that. It's absolute pain. What the problem is that there's a frame tube right here. Okay. Alright, so this is a frame tube right here. So this is a real awkward to do it. So what you need the first tool you need is a 13mm open ender. Okay, as short as you can really. And the next one is like some small pliers, some needle nose pliers. Now whether a long set's better or a short set's better, you probably grab them both. Whether an angled set, I don't know, it never seems to work for me. But what I do here is, there's a bit of a trick to this, is I get a long flat bladed screwdriver. Okay, and what I do is you put the 13mm spanner onto the nut, and what you do is you put your screwdriver between here and the frame, and if you just twist the screwdriver, you lock the grub screw, for a better word, I don't know what it's really called. You lock the grub screw into place. You can then move the nut relative to the grub screw. So what you do is just slacken the nut off. So don't move it any, but just take the pressure off it. Stick your screwdriver in, jam it between the frame tube and the grub screw, so that the grub screw is locked in place. Then turn the 13mm nut, back it off as much as you do. So it's like quarter turn or half a turn. Then remove the screwdriver and then turn the nut back. And what will happen is the grub screw will go round with it. So if you want to make this tighter, you put the spanner on it, take the slack off, stick your screwdriver in, jam the grub screw so it's straight, back the nut off half a turn, remove the screwdriver, and then turn the 13mm nut back on tight, and you'll find that the grub screw will go round and take the slack out. So say you want to take half a turn off, then it's half a turn back and then forward, and that's how I do it. And that is just a lot easier than trying to get needle nose pliers onto this and turning it round, because when it gets to the position where it's horizontal, where the slot's horizontal, it's virtually impossible to try and get the pliers on, or it's just sort of at any angle, like a 45-degree angle, where you just can't seem to get the pliers onto it, and it's just really awkward. So that's the way I do it, and it's a lot easier than trying to do it with pliers.